Good evening. Good evening and welcome to our January board meeting. Thank you all for coming. I call this meeting of the Bastrop Independent School District to order. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Please stand and join me in the pledge, led by Trustee Eaton.
Pledge allegiance to the American flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Remain standing, please. I'd like to call up Harold Welch. He's from Premier Baptist Church, and he's going to lead us in prayer tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. And we want you to know that we in the Ministerial Alliance appreciate you all and all that you do.
Thank you.
Let's pray. Father, we love you and thank you so very much for the great things that you have given us through our schools, our public schools. Lord, bless this board as they meet. Give them wisdom to do the things that they do that are going to give you glory and honor and going to be a blessing to our community. Thank you that you give them wisdom to protect our children and educate our children in a good way. Thank you that they, many of them come back and serve in different aspects of our community, whether in business or in public office. I thank you for that. And we give you glory for the good things you give us, Lord. Bless this meeting tonight, that it be for your glory. May it be a good meeting. May it be all in honor and in good conduct, and we love you for the privilege of doing so. Thank you for these children that will come tonight and do the things that they do and show us the great things that you're doing through them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Welch. Next is going to be our character education trait for January. I'd like to ask the student speaker to come on up. It's going to be Nicholas Riefel. A little bit about Nicholas. He's a fourth grader at Cedar Creek Elementary School. He's going to speak to us on the education trait of loyalty. Nicholas has just started taking karate. He also takes piano lessons. He enjoys drawing and writing comics. Nicholas's favorite subjects are science and math. He also enjoys getting on the computer and playing Minecraft and Animal Jam with his brothers and friends. Nicholas is the son of Pete and Beth Riefel, and I believe you're a teacher in our district, right?
Yes, sir.
Great.
What is loyalty? Loyalty is staying by someone and sticking up for them through the good things and bad things. Loyalty is putting your life in jeopardy for what you believe, like in the U.S. Army, Coast Guard, Air Force, Marines, and Navy. My Uncle Pat is a loyal fan to the Minnesota Vikings. He has been a fan since my mom was a little girl. Dogs can be loyal too, you know. They can stick around the house. It's like a security system, but not electronic. Those are some examples of loyalty. Loyalty means different things to different people, but this is what it means to me.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. We really appreciate it. Yes, sir. Mr. Murray?
Yeah, I have the pleasure each month of introducing some students to you that, again, come to us and sit in advisory capacity with the Board of Trustees in an effort that is probably not seen in maybe one or two other high schools in the state of Texas, if not the United States. And that's members of our Student Advisory Council from both high schools. We have one member from each council that sits in advisory to our board. I've told the students, we're going to introduce them in a second, that we'll get running through this agenda sometimes and we'll forget to ask the questions maybe in the middle, but our board members are usually pretty good at the end to ask some questions at the end of our students. Hopefully that'll happen tonight. We're excited to have two students with us. We have a senior from Bastrop High School, Dior DJ Smith. Dior, thanks for being here. And a junior from Cedar Creek High School, Bet Lopez. I was telling the students earlier when I was saying hi to them that It's a big deal to be here, and we were just, I don't want to say this, it's not on the agenda, but I think it's important mentioning, we were blessed to have nominations of both the Board of Trustees and of the school district for the HEB Excellence in Education Award, which is a statewide award which gets a lot of acclaim each year. And you get nominated and then you fill out the application, and it was our responsibility to do those applications. The board did theirs, and we worked on ours for the district, the Service Center team. And I mentioned in our application the fact that not only we have advisory councils where we listen to our students at both of the high schools, but the fact that students come in advisory to the board, which is very forward-thinking of the board to allow them to do so. So we welcome our students tonight, and get ready because we might have some questions for you. All right, welcome. If you just want me to go ahead and continue.
Yeah, we're going to do recognitions and
Okay.
presentations.
Let's do this in a little different order. Let's go ahead and I want to introduce somebody with us tonight. Again, not on our agenda, but we've got a little liberty here in the recognition portion of our agenda. We have a new member of our family in Bastrop ISD. We're very excited to introduce tonight Keith Wolf, who's the head football coach and athletic coordinator at Cedar Creek High School. Keith.
I want to thank you, Mr. Murray, and Mr. Willoughby and the school board for the opportunity. Extremely humbled and proud and excited to be here. We're ready to get to work. Matter of fact, I went to work today, meet the kids, meet the coaches, and we're excited about the opportunity. We're excited about the future, and we're gonna build champions at Cedar Creek. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Keith. Welcome. Lots of things going on tonight. I know that Mark and Keith are going to head back to Cedar Creek High School because the Bears are playing the Eagles tonight in basketball. So let's go. Not everybody leave now because I said that.
You ready to go?
We have a very special presentation. You know, we've heard so much about, in a very short period of time, our robotics team at Bastrop High School. We talked last year about the phenomenal things that the students were able, with their great sponsors, to achieve in their first year of competition, winning the regionals and going to the nationals or worlds in robotics. And we have robotics team members tonight here going to do a presentation for us. So without further ado, let y'all tell us a little bit about what you're going to do.
Thank you so much for allowing us to be here. My name is Marguerite Schaefer, and I'm the robotics sponsor at Bastrop High School. Our team has 6 weeks to build a competitive robot that will undergo many trials, as well as being hit by other robots in kind of a battle of the robots, if you will. So today I have 3 team members here who are going to tell you a little bit about this year's game, as well as what robot we're designing, and then lastly, we'd like to invite you to STEAM Fest. So I want them to introduce themselves. So,
hi, my name is Marissa. I'm a senior, and in robotics I kind of do like the business side of things, and kind of like right now I'm doing graphic design and the web design.
My name is Antonio. I'm the programming and design. I do a lot of that stuff. So I know the robot.
My name is Jack Keegan, and I'm basically just a robotics team member. I just help with everything.
And our entire robot upper design. So there you go. All right, go ahead and start.
Okay. FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. It is an international high school competition. FIRST gives students real-world engineering experience and teaches students many valuable lessons like gracious professionalism, working with other teams, and competing but being cooperative about it. The game this year is called Aerial Assist. It's like a mixture of soccer and volleyball. The game is played by 2 competing alliances with 3 robots on each side. The goal is to score as many balls into their goals in the time limit. Opposing alliance teams can also block goals. The match begins with the autonomous period, in which the programmed bots make goals. We can't touch the robots at this time, and it moves on its own. Then the human players step in to control their robots during the teleoperated period. Goals in this part of the game are made when balls are put into the low goal or the high goal. Points can be scored over a truss in the middle of the field. The field is sectioned into 3 equal parts, the red zone, white zone, and the blue zone. Assist points can be made when robots in one zone pass it to their alliance in the next zone. And now I'm going to hand it over to Antonio to tell you about how our robot's going to go about this.
Soccer and volleyball.
Our robot this year has to work well with teams, maneuver a ball, and be able to score it. Let me explain to you how we overcame this monumental task. For most of you, I'm sure you remember playing pinball in a local arcade. You remember loading a quarter into the game, watching the ball fling down the ramp, and launching it. Well, this is exactly how we plan on shooting the ball. By utilizing pneumatics, or our air-pressured mechanics, we're going to simulate the kick that you get, just like off of a pinball machine, to launch a 2-foot ball 6 feet into the air. Another function of our robot is to pick it up off the ground. We plan on doing this by having a sort of trap door that comes from above. We had many designs throughout this. We decided to choose this one because once it gets in, it can't escape. And by having wheels that fit perfectly around it, we can hug the ball, lift it up, and bring it into our shooter. These 2 parts are going to be our main functions for the game, allowing us to utilize the ball while also keeping it relatively simple, allowing us to help out our team members, one shot at a time.
So that's our robot from last year. As you can see, our team number is 4610. Our team also does a lot of outreach opportunities. So Jack is going to tell us about these outreach opportunities.
Sorry, I'm bad at speaking. Recently, we're going to have something called STEAM Fest, which is an opportunity to see professionals who work with science, technology, engineering, art design, and math. It's coming up this Thursday at the BHS cafeteria from 6 to 8:30. And as of right now, we have members of MD Anderson Cancer Center and the Austin PD Bomb Squad, as well as many others. So I invite all of you to come check it out. We are going to bring our chassis that we're working on for the next 3 weeks. You can check out the projects we're going to have, bring your kids. It's going to be fun. We have a lot of things going on.
Thank you very much for letting us present.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seeing as my 55th birthday is creeping up this Friday, I think I'm one of the guys that played pinball. Like half the people in the room went, pinball? What is pinball?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know you don't know what I'm talking about, dude. I understand. January is a special month in the state of Texas and a special month in Bastrop ISD because we get to say thank you to what I have always referred to, even though they're elected officials, as the ultimate volunteers in our school district. While they are elected by our taxpayers in the district, they give up so much of their time away from their families, away from their jobs from time to time, and that's our Board of Trustees. January is a special month. It's a special month set aside in the state of Texas for recognition. And what we've done in Bastrop the last several years is we have some general gifts and tokens of appreciation at their place tonight. Somebody even took care of me. I appreciate that. So got some goodies for them, but we also have a specific campus that's chosen one specific board member to recognize, and we're going to have folks from those campuses come forward and talk about the recognition for the Board of Trustees tonight during this special month of recognition. I just want to say personally, thank you to the Board of Trustees for everything they do, for the teamwork that we've experienced over the years to get some very great things done in Bastrop ISD. I mean, if you didn't see, obviously, a lot of hard work with our kids who do robotics, our children who come up each month and talk about character traits, all the things that happen, extracurricular, curricular in the classroom. It's all set by a vision of our 7 board members in team with our administrative team. So I want to say thank you personally to the Board of Trustees. So, Don, do we have a particular order? Yes. Okay. I don't know if I have that, but I don't know if I have that list. Get the list and go. Thank you. All right, we'll go in the order we've got set here in my notes. We're going to start off with Bridget Cornelius from Bluebonnet. I got to take that.
I have two very special students here with me today to help me present Mr. Allen with a token of our appreciation from Bluebonnet. I have second grader Connor Coleman. Connor, say hi. Just wave. And third grader Samuel Miller and my fabulous assistant principal Melanie Kovar. We would like to present you, Mr. Allen, with a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much for your commitment to Bastrop ISD and to Bluebonnet Elementary. We really appreciate all that you do.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, you got it? That's cool.
See if you're in the headline.
I'm scared of James too. James is so intimidating.
Next, to honor their chosen board member from Cedar Creek Intermediate, Sean Adams.
That's funny.
Look at that kid's face.
I've had my look, so.
Hi, Mr. Eaton. My sinus is, wow, that was really nice, Mr. Allen. Mr. Eaton, thank you for your service for many, many years. Watched you a long time on the board. You push, and you're good, and you read the stuff. You read, I think, every word, and every number, and every chart, and then you use your reasoning skills, and you ask some really tough questions, and you push. And it's hard sometimes to be on the other end of it, but we appreciate what you do and who you are and what you bring to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. It's my fault. I give her the mic every once in a while.
That's why Ashley works pretty tough. You gave him the heads up.
In recognition of their board member from Bastrop Middle School, Sammy Kinsey.
Do I get to come up?
Oh, David, come on up. And actually,
Oh, that's very
our
cool.
recognition is the hearts, but that you hold, the school board holds us the heart of the school. You are the heart and the soul of the school. So we appreciate that you always keep what's best for kids in your mind when everything you do from day to day, because it does trickle down to us at campus. Oh, here's our little bear, and since you're a bear.
That's nice.
Very cool. Very cool. In recognition of their chosen board member from Cedar Creek Middle School, Jim Holomack.
It's not as bad as it looks, I promise. Mr. Martin isn't able to join us this evening, but earlier today I had the pleasure of visiting with Mr. Martin, shared with him a poster our kids put together in recognition of his service and a video the kids put together in recognition of his service. In fact, tomorrow we're inviting Mr. Martin. In fact, let me open up to all of our board members. We're having some grilled hamburgers for lunch tomorrow. So it's about 12 o'clock. If you do plan on coming, please let me know, because I have to buy some more hamburgers. But again, I'd like to, again, on behalf of Mr. Martin, but I'd also like to thank all you guys for what you do each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you.
From Mill Elementary, Dolores Moore.
thank you for this opportunity, and I want to invite Mr. Peterson to come forth. And I want to share this with you very briefly. Our students get excited to see Mr. Peterson, not just because he takes care of the mail inside, but some of the students remember when he used to be, when he would take their letters for Santa Claus, and they remember that. So we appreciate that. He's a familiar face. So first, before we get started, I would like to share this with you. You know, we always say that we're a meal and we're family, but it's built on tradition and love, and we wanted you to have that. Okay, the other thing we have is, I'd like for you to return it so it can stay in our halls. We made this for Mr. Peterson. Because that tells you a little bit about home. It's a very small part. And we have that in our hallway, so I'm going to let you take it, and then you can just return it. I'll see you tomorrow on your route. Okay, and then the other thing that I would like to present to you on behalf of Mill Elementary, in recognition for your years of dedication and service to the children of Mill and BISD, we appreciate you and we love you and we want you to have this. You can keep that. Okay, you're welcome. Okay.
Camera broke. Here to recognize their board member, Cedar Creek Elementary, Melinda Solis.
That's a pretty face.
Hello, good evening. This is my Early Act First Night Service Club. They are coming to present.
That's cool.
We have the honor of recognizing Mr. Ashley Muchnick. Is that right? Okay, I've been practicing. Okay, so I have the president of our EAFK club, Josh Aguilar, and then we have Charlie Ponce, who's the vice president, and Taylor Godfrey, who's the secretary, and they have some things they'd like to say.
We'd like to honor you as our Early Act First Night member.
Thank you. All right, there you go.
This is an invitation so you can go eat with us.
It's an open invitation, so you just RSVP and let us know when you can make it, and we'll set it all up.
This is a card for Cabela's.
Oh, wow.
Because I know you like to shop there.
Thank you very much.
We have some inside information. You said you like Cabela's. And then we also have this. Who's going to talk about?
We have this picture that we took of all the grades, and kindergarten, pre-K is making a T for things. Well, a T for things. H is first grade. A is kindergarten, and N is second, and K is third, and here S is fourth grade.
And then all the teachers signed it as well.
You need to show everybody that.
Turn it around so
That's
everybody
cool.
can see.
That's a
Don't
neat
turn
deal.
around so everybody in the audience can see. And I'd also like to thank Beth Riefel, who is our service club sponsor. She's done a great job in putting all this together, and she's just a really great asset that we have on our campus. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Big smile.
Representing Mena Elementary, Reba King.
Dr. Mix, thank you for your dedication to our district. Just a quick story. I had a precious fourth grade teacher new to the district that we a great recruit from a sister district that ran in my office this morning and said, Miss King, School Board Appreciation Month, it got past me. And I said, Miss Thompson, what are you talking about? And she said, well, I take my whole class to the school board meeting on school board in January. And I'm like, what do you mean you take your whole class? I said, I have this under control. We have great gift for Dr. Ricks tonight. And she said, I take them and I let them speak. And she said, but I'm going to go do a lesson during writing today, and we're going to get something together. And I said, that's great. Next year we can take your whole class. And so sure enough, she pulled it off. So I'd like to read the students' words because they're much better than mine. Thank you for technology in the classrooms. Thank you for hiring great teachers and staff. Thank you for accepting criticism. Students' words. Thank you for never giving up on us. Thank you for keeping our schools safe and keeping children first. Thank you for your time. Thank you for operating our school. Thank you for understanding the needs of learning, safety, and materials. And also, thank you for our teachers. Thank you for doing the right thing. Thank you for representing our community. Thank you for making reading possible. Thank you for influencing our lives. Thank you for extreme leadership. And then they all signed on the back. But I also must give much credit to my very talented art teacher who made this. And it says, thank you, Dr. Mix, for touching the hearts and inspiring the hands of our Mena Elementary students. Mena goes big. You're more than welcome to take the student-made huge heart if you have a space in your office.
I do.
If not, we would proudly put it back at Mena, but hopefully you will be able to put this there for sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
From Cedar Creek High School, Lila Olivares.
Good evening, school board members, Mr. Murray. Thank you so much for everything that you do to serve our district and our children. We really appreciate what you do for us. This is typical of high school kids. We're overly caffeinated most of the time, but that's all right. This is in appreciation for our school board members. Thanks a latte. Thanks a latte for helping CCHS grow in the right direction. And this is from our art teacher, Ms. Van Clark, who's our CCHS Stuco sponsor. Each one of you gets a nice little Starbucks card, including Mr. Murray. So, from us to you. Stay caffeinated.
How do you want to do that picture?
You can get them all around you. You know, next year, everyone will bring one of those to get a group photo.
Group hug.
I'll stand up. Get in here behind. Yeah, I'll just look over my shoulder. Leave me a spot.
I'm leaving him a spot. You want to tighter?
You got me.
There you go, got it. Thank you.
Thanks, Lila. Yes, you may. Thanks to everybody for all their special efforts to recognize our school board so appropriately in this month of January.
Mr. Murray, just want to make note, Lost Pines Elementary, we have a third grade class that I mentor a young man in, and they all wrote a letter for me, and so that I really do appreciate that. So.
Very good.
Thank you.
I don't play favorites on the letters, but I always pull a couple off the top, and I think it's important that I read a couple of them for you. Dear school board members, thank you for making our school a greater place. You and our teachers and principals rock. I like coming to school because I like math. Thank you for making our school a better place. School makes me feel safe with you around. Thank you very much. I appreciate you helping our school, and thank you for making possible the knighting assemblies. Lots of people, well, kids, have been getting knighted. Once again, thank you very much. Dear school board members, thank you for training to be a school board member. I like that you get us ready for a good education. You've done so much work for the school and all of the kids at LPE. I know it's exhausting to be a school board member, but it's what's best for us. Thank you for spending time on our school board. Thank you for a great education. How do you give us education? Thank you for being our school board members. I'm thankful you give a good teacher and help us learn, and thank you for giving us a nice teacher. I'm thankful you help us to buy stuff for the school. I'm thankful that you help us raise money. I'm thankful you grade our tests. So, the last one. Thank you for being a school board member. Thank you for helping my school. How do you do it? I think those are all good. We really appreciate those kids for doing that. All right. Don't drop it. Now we're going to move on to open forum. I'd like to call Clifton Ames to come up.
Yes, good evening. In anticipation of school board appreciation, and as a parent in this district, and on behalf of Child Nutrition, I'd like to thank each one of you for the job that you do. The sacrifices that you make to our community and to our children are truly commendable. And to say that, in appreciation of all this, we have a new toy in Child Nutrition. It's a grill that we'll be grilling out at several schools starting this Friday. I'd like to invite each one of you to come and join us at CCH this Friday. If it's a bad weather day, it'll be Monday. We'll be out barbecuing out in the outdoor student area with picnic tables, barbecue chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers. Just another way we want to bring new things to our children and our young adults. So I want to invite all of you, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Next, Miss Rebecca Bennett.
Pass them out. I've got 2 stacks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here's the other one. Good evening. I'm Rebecca Bennett, President of the Bastrop Federation of Teachers, and I have 2 items to share with you tonight. The first is the preliminary results of BFT's survey of employee satisfaction. The survey closed Sunday, and I wanted to get some results to you as soon as possible. Next month, I will present the complete results, including comments and results disaggregated by campus. The other item is an article that appeared in the Austin American-Statesman this past Saturday. It concerns AISD's efforts at retaining teachers, especially at high-need schools. Even though AISD has committed and paid out millions of dollars, the turnover rate at the target schools has increased, in some cases doubling. Many of the sources quoted in the story emphasize that working conditions such as school discipline, workload, paperwork, and the administration's respect or lack of it for teachers is just as important as money. And these things cost much less than raises or stipends. Of course, I don't mean that money doesn't matter. It does. People must be able to support their families. However, even when the money is good, teachers will leave a school because of poor working conditions. The BFT, the Bastrop Federation of Teachers, is hoping to work with district administration to improve working conditions, specifically teacher workload. We have presented a 12-point plan to ease teacher workload to district administrators and hope that implementation can begin soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, that can, nope, got one more. Sorry, Dr. Yeager. Can you please come forward? Dr. Vera Preston Yeager.
Thank you. It's nice to see you tonight, and
It's always nice to be here in January when you all are shown how much you are appreciated as board members. I know that it's time consuming. I wanted to commend the Cedar Creek teacher who presented the Guys and Dolls Junior performance. It was really great, and they did a great job. And it's so important to have productions like that. I heard once that it's very difficult for students to understand and empathize with others, but when they are in plays and they have to perform and think about others, that's really helps. So it's very important to have that performance, and they do a great job. And one of the things I learned is that when they went to the state AIL or whatever, these students are in the middle school, and people thought they were in high school. So I thought that was very interesting. And then my favorite topic, math, is I really am hoping that the teachers are able to teach the way the students learn and not have to be teaching a particular way, so that every student's needs are met. And I've worked with a lot of different types of students and been able to have them at the end of the semester love math. And I'd be happy to work with any of the classes that might have students that are having trouble. I might be able to not be able to see very well, but I can still talk to the students and help them. But thank you for all that you do. I know it's a hard but a challenging job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Pollard, we're going to move to our public hearing. Texas Academic Performance Report.
Mr. Murray and the board, I am going to be able to provide you the opportunity to share once again some of the data from our STAR and TAC scores from the 2012-13 school year. So it's going to be a hard act to follow. Lots of entertainment tonight, so yeah, that's probably going to end right now, so I don't have to tell you that. Here we go. So as we talk about the Texas Academic Performance Report, in the past it's been called the AEIS, and they have changed it with the new accountability to now read the TAPR, the Texas Academic Performance Report. You've had this report, and since this is a public hearing, I want to make note that we have passed out some information on the data, as well as it will be posted on the website after we complete this evening. And so if anybody misses anything, they'll be able to view the PowerPoint as well as all the information on the website because of that. At the beginning, it just kind of gives a little data about what the TAPR is, and then there's several pages that indicate where this information is within the actual report, the TAPR report. And so the first few slides just give you some guidance that you received earlier with where to locate some things.
The first, this year we are, and it is important to share that the bilingual education, English as a second language, is a new report. It's new data that is being given to us as a district and districts throughout the state. And so now they're looking at how our kids in bilingual education as well as ESL perform, and that's new to have that pulled out and be separate. Again, the other data is still very similar with the information that has been provided. So we'll start off with the We Met standard, as we all know, as far as our accountability rating. The first page actually, or the first information, has to do with reading. And without question, we know that it's an area of need for our district. And so reading across the district is an emphasis with 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th grade. And ELA 2. One of the things I'll share with you is it's a focus for us to improve and to get the first round of 5th and 8th grade improving. If you'll look at that, you'll see that 5th grade performed at 70% and 8th at 78%, but when you look at how they did after the second round, and so your report doesn't have that in your report, they only do the first round, and then later on they give you this information. So we went up from a 70 to an 81% in 5th grade and a 78 to an 86. So our goal here would be that we would improve those percentages the first round. And these are just strategies. I won't bore everybody by reading them to you, but these are strategies we felt it was important for the board as well as the district, if they go to the website, to look at as far as things that are in place, and they've been in place since we received those scores last June, and how they are broken down from the K to 6 level, and then of course 7 through 12, and what we're doing to make those scores go up. The second piece of information I want to share is writing, and there's not a question that the writing is an area of need for us. We knew that when we got our scores last year that we were struggling and that we have got a lot of things in place, so definitely writing at all grade levels is a focus, and that's beyond the grades that are tested. We are writing starting in kindergarten, and we are writing in every grade for consistency in our scope and sequence. So when we talk about curriculum mapping and things we've put in place, some emphasis here is we've got literacy coaches with our TLI grant that are at K to 6 level, as well as a writing fair in January, as well as other training. We have brought in an expert, Pat Jacoby, and we're doing writing calibration, as well as NIMSI, which is National Math and Science. We're doing a lot of things to improve the students' abilities in writing. The next is math. Bastrop, again, has emphasis, a lot of strength in 3rd grade, as well as Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Again, some areas of focus would be 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and definitely our first round for 5th and 8th. As you'll see in the scores and in the reports, that in 5th grade we performed at 68% the first round, in 8th grade 69%. And so the focus would be that our second round we went up to an 84 in math, as well as an 80 in 8th grade. So our emphasis will be to encourage the first round to get stronger. And again, different things that we're doing within the district to focus on math. This happens to be the star percent at phase-in level 2 or above, and this happens to be for the science, and we know that our strengths are grade 8 without a doubt. We are sitting at 79% in grade 8 and 85% in biology, and those are above the state percent passing, and we know that that's a strength, and our focus is going to be in our other areas. And we have a big push to do science in elementary, and we've been doing that for several years with the emphasis that we should start seeing some data next year with some success in our 3rd year. So these are just some goals that we're doing in science. When you look at social studies, there's no doubt that the emphasis is in world geography, where we're doing well above the state. And of course, we're not going to be tested any longer in that area, but that performance and some things that have been put in place in that social studies will be seen across the district. Again, some implementation, some things, some strategies that we put in place with some training and some camps, and definitely some S3 strategies alongside of our NIMSI training for the other core subjects. The last thing we want to talk about is we want to talk about the star percent at final level 3, and this is our old commended. And so this is the percentages of students that performed, which means they missed one, maybe two. Very, very high percentage in passing, and if you'll look at that, we compare to the state close, but without in reading and in writing. If you look at the state writing, they were at 4% across the state performing at level 3, and we were at 2. So I think the whole state has some needs in doing better with writing. Here's some things that we have put in place to implement. We do have tutoring and intervention in level 3. Each campus principal has been given funds to target those at the top as well as those that are struggling, and so they have actually been provided funds to tutor and to work with that group of students. This information just happens to be the star percent at level, phase-in level 2 or above, and you'll just see overall as the district how we compare to the state, and we are all within 0 to 4 percentage points compared to the state, again, except for writing, and we know that that's an area that we're doing a lot of things differently. This is the I indicated earlier that we have a new accountability area, which is bilingual education. And so in the gold, you'll see that that's the all students in the district. And then to the right of that, you will see how those groups are performing. And there is no question that that is a targeted population for us in both the bilingual and ESL, with the opportunity for them to perform at a higher Met standard percentage. When we talk about final, and this means that this is where we need to go. Right now we're at a phase-in with the new test, and this is how we performed at the final level 2. And so compared to the state, we're within, again, a few percentage points, except in writing. And again, we continue to focus. If you look at social studies and science, there's a few that we are very, very close compared to the state. This happens to be the star percent met or exceeded progress, and at the bottom it gives you an explanation, and it just says that this indicator shows the percent of students who met or exceeded the star progress measure as determined by comparing a student's gain score. It's the difference between what they scored in the prior year and this year. And this one happens to be if you exceeded, and you'll notice that we're very close to the state's percentages, and this is beyond just the growth in the student progress measure. Here we just have a little bit of information about the STAR prior year failures, and so it just gives you some percentages, and it just shows you, and I've given that so people can really look at that, and board members as well, as how they determine that by giving you that information at the bottom. Our participation is always good. And then we get into tax, which we will not be accounted for as we go beyond this year, and we always perform well in tax. And this one just also says those kids that failed tax in the prior year and how they performed as far as passing, and now this is a new way that we share with those percents and how they progress. So at 60% in English, language arts, and math, the kids that failed prior performed at the level they should have. And this is the tax cumulative pass rate. As usual, we always talk a little bit about our attendance, and we don't have a difficult time compared to the state. We're always very close with our attendance. Our dropout rate is always good as far as 7th and 8th. That's the one they look for as far as accountability, and you'll see that we always do well with that. The dropout rate for 9 through 12 as well, comparable to the state. They give longitudinal data for 4 years as well as 5 years, and so there's a lot of information that we look at to be able to see how we're performing on the 4 and 5 year longitudinal rate. We have other indicators that are in that packet that you received, which was like a novel, so there's some more indicators as far as college readiness. And then we always get information on AP and IB scores, and more information on that can be found in that TAPR on page 10 if you want specific percentages. But here what you want to see is that BISD, the all, is very comparable to the state and region. This one just compares 2012 to 11, and we're staying very close to the same passing rate as far as dual enrollment in advanced courses. And then this compares AP again to the year prior. Here's your goal setting, which just gives us a little bit of indicators over a 3-year trend. And the areas of need is to increase the number of students tested in grades 11 and 12, And then once they're tested, our focus is to continue to have them perform. But if you'll look, if they do take the test, they're doing well. And this is important to share because this is your AP test takers that make a 3 or above. And if you look compared to from 11 to 12, you'll see that the high percentage of making a 3, 4, or 5, that percentage is increasing to a high degree. And then, of course, here's your SAT and ACT results compared to the state, as well as if they met the criterion. The average SAT scores compared to the state, the average ACT scores compared to the state. Here's your college readiness comparison from 11 to 12 in ELA and math and both. And then additional indicators that this is a brand new indicator. It has to do with kids that are enrolled, and so this one we'll talk just a little bit about. This indicator is new for the 12-13 year, and it explains down there that this is a percentage of students who enrolled and begin instruction at an institution of higher education in the school year following high school graduation, and it tells you how that's determined. That's new for us to start looking at, and the state give to us, and we're at 49.9%. And then a second new indicator is if they go to school and they're enrolled in school, if they needed remediation once they got there, and the percentage is given to you, and so it's going to be where parents can find that on the website. And if you'll see that 67% were above the state as far as our kids needing remediation, those that do go to college after they leave high school. This is just information we see all the time, which has to do with student information, program information, class sizes, staff information, as well as we're supposed to talk about the campus improvement plans, which we do a lot in October, so we're there and the improvements are targeted. In the back of your packet is the violent and criminal incidents, and of course the financial information. If there's any questions at this time from, of course, since it's a public hearing, or if anybody has any clarification, we'll be glad to do that at this time. If not, that ends the information on our public hearing on the TAPR.
Well, I can't let it go.
Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
I wouldn't want to disappoint anybody.
I'm just going to ask Sean Adams to come join me since
Bring her up. I don't have a question, but I've got a couple observations.
Yes, sir.
And, ever since I've been on this board, I've been talking about the need for us to close the academic gap. Okay, and if you look at our novel, okay, pages 1, 2, and 3, it becomes fairly obvious that we still have a significant amount of improvement to close that gap. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if you go to the section 2 that talks about the gap, page 6 of 12, you can see that progress is in fact being made, but it's being made at what appears to me to be an excruciating slow pace in closing that gap. Okay, there's much better improvement seems to be made by Hispanics and African Americans in closing the gap. Okay, but it's still painfully slow. Okay. So then if you go to the strategies that address it, which is on page 24 and 25 of this manual, you have to ask the question, these are strategies in macro terms, but behind them there are an awful lot of different programs, okay? So you have to ask the question, why isn't our strategy generating more tangible results than what we're experiencing in closing of the gap? Okay, I don't have an answer for that. Okay, that's your job.
It is.
Okay, but but we need to be analyzing this strategy and seeing if as a school district we couldn't somehow or another find the means of accelerating the closing of the academic gaps. If it's not attendance, you look at attendance. And African Americans on some campuses have far higher attendance or better attendance than the Caucasians, and it's the same true with Hispanics, okay? It's not an attendance issue, all right? It doesn't appear to be. But there's something else, all right? If you look at all the programs that the district has in place to address this particular issue, okay, you have to ask yourself what more can be done. What more can be done? And I don't have an answer to that, but I'm going out on a limb and say, I think at some point in time, administration needs to be getting with the leaders of the minority communities and have responsible leadership in those communities begin to address this particular issue, because I don't know what more the district can do. So it's a community issue, okay? And I think the leaders within the community need to step up and start addressing this issue, okay? That's item one. Second item is out on the drug report that we have in here. There's a significant increase in almost double possesses controlled substance within the district, okay? I commend the district in terms of addressing this issue, okay? Because I think the 2 previous years are understated. Something has happened that we're starting to address this issue and taking some action on possession of drugs on our campus. More people seem to be getting caught, okay? So keep it up. That's a problem we got to address. I commend administration, campus administration, for taking action on that issue. Final observation. Although our ACT and SAT scores are fairly comparable to the state, okay? And we've had a significant improvement in the number of people that are in fact taking the test last year versus the previous year. We still have a pitifully low number of people taking the ACT and SAT test, okay? And I know at one point in time the district helped pay economically disadvantaged students to take that test. And I would ask you to take a look and see if that's had an impact on keeping some of our students from being able to take the SAT and the ACT test, okay? So with that, I'll get off my soapbox.
Well, I can acknowledge that because of your school leadership, the violent and criminal incidents are being taken care of because of the strong leadership that you have on your campuses. I can also assure you that your high school leaders, as well as the curriculum director at the secondary level and myself, we're working very hard at trying to find a way for more students to take ACT, SAT, as well as every student in an AP class taking the AP exam instead of only those that choose to, and we're working very hard on how to move forward where more can do that. And we're also working and have a plan with PSAT, and a lot of our students, the high school had put in place where they're all taking the PSAT as well. So we're working towards that goal.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Janie. You want to talk to us about House Bill 5?
Sure. I was asked to give just a brief update of what we've been doing, and that's what I have chosen to do. We're going to give you a little bit of information. It's kind of, I think they call it in Donald's world, the teaser, and we're going to tease you a little bit and hope on the 17th you'll come to the workshop. So here we go, a little bit about what we've been doing in the district. As you know, that this is just basically telling you so many things that House Bill 5 has brought forth in front of us. We have 5 endorsements that are required by House Bill 5, and just lots of things that the bill has brought to the forefront for us to acknowledge and to address. We have completed several opportunities at Region 13 to become more knowledgeable, and those are the dates that somebody has represented the district and gotten information regarding House Bill 5. We've had planning meetings, and that would be Nancy Roll, the curriculum director at the secondary level, Les Hudson, who is the career and tech, and myself, and Martin Conradi, who is doing an internship to become a superintendent, has joined us to earn intern hours. And we have worked all of those dates working towards some things we're going to share with you on the 17th. The objectives of these planning meetings, we have created 4 pathways in 27 plans to support all 5 endorsements. The pathways are designed to enable any student in our district to earn an endorsement, as well as earn a transcript that would be accepted by 4-year college or university, as well as include capstone courses for seniors, etc. at the high school. So we worked very hard on how to accomplish that with the new expectations of House Bill 5. The objective also of the planning meetings was to find a way for kids to increase the opportunities for them to get certifications. Applicable certifications were identified for each endorsement. We had to look at staffing implications where Barry Edwards joined us, as well as training and certification implications, new courses that we will be required to offer, as well as capstone options. So this is our first endorsement, and so this just shows you that we've worked with 5, 6 strands, as well as looked at certifications they could earn, and this is just a model of what it will look like. We have a lot of these that we'll share with you on the 13th of February, I believe. But basically you'll see A, B, C, and D plans on the left. You will see what they need to take, and that addresses all kids. Every plan addresses whether it's a struggling kid or a kid in band and athletics or a kid that's just worried. I mean, all they want to do is work on academics and go to college without any extracurricular. And so all of that, I will educate you better when we come to the workshop. But then if you look at the far right, you will look at certification if you go through that plan. And if it says none, then that means they cannot earn a certification with that particular plan that we have put together. And then everything in italics are things that have to be provided for kids to be able to be prepared to go to college. Our second group is business and industry endorsement, and the strand is on the left, and the certifications that can be provided with our current staff and our current scheduling can provide those certifications on the right, and we've worked through different plans, pathways that would support those certifications for kids. As well as on this page, we have continued with the strands and continued with certifications, and everything we're going to share with you is our opportunities that we do not have to increase our business staff to do in our career and tech. Here is just a sample, and if you look at the bottom right, you'll see that now with this particular plan, with Ag, Food and Natural Resource Cluster under Animal Systems Focus, they could become and get a certification. And so that's our goal, is to make sure that kids have a plan where they can walk out if they stay their senior year and don't take and shorten their time with us with early and late release, and be able to get that 4 years in. Here we have our multidisciplinary studies, and these are the strands that we have put together. At this time, no certifications in these strands, but we have provided, and this is just one for advanced placement, Public services, the one that we have, and the only one at this time that we have, is the junior ROTC without a certification, and this would be able to have 4 plan options for pathways for kids to take, depending on how involved they are with other activities, and still accomplish the ROTC endorsement under public service. And the last one we want to share tonight is the STEM endorsement, and you'll see that it has several strands that they can focus on for the 4 years that they're in high school, as well as the certifications. And this is an example of that, where you would have the certification would be pharmacy tech, et cetera, et cetera. And so this is what we've been doing since October. We want to share with you a little bit about the comparison of our minimum high school plan compared to the foundation plan that we are now required to address, which is with House Bill 5. And I think what I want to share is they're both the minimum. For kids to get a diploma, they're both the minimum expectations that a kid has to earn. And I would like for you to look at the foundation, and I would like for you to notice that the science has increased compared to the minimum, and we're not talking about recommended, we're not talking about distinguished from in the past. And then I also want you to please bring your attention to the fact that all kids will have to have 2 years of language other than English. And with the minimum plan in the past, they did not have to have a foreign language. And then the other adjustments are there as well. So that means every kid at the high school will have to have 2 years of foreign language in some capacity compared to in the past. The new course requirements that we want to share are the special topics in language and culture, and that's a second year of a foreign language. If a kid is struggling in the first year and just cannot be successful with speaking that language, then all of our language teachers, our foreign language teachers, will teach this or be certified to teach it, and it's more of a theory instead of a language itself. And as we know that at the senior level, we're going to have to make sure our kids are college ready in math and English, and we're working with ACC to come up with a curriculum for kids that have not been able to be successful, and as a senior we'll have to be able to provide them so that their remedial classes are here instead of at the college level. And the courses that are no longer required, that we have a lot of staff in the district currently teaching, are speech and health, but they're not required any longer. Here's our future meetings, and we plan to meet and who we plan to meet with to get further input as we go forward after the district level has put some thoughts together. And then we will definitely work with our high school and middle school counselors to continue with input, as well as our associates. And we will plan to have a House Bill parent information night at both high schools and middle schools. Really, the 8th grade is our emphasis for that, for the incoming kids. And then, of course, on the 13th, we will be doing board workshop. Any questions or thoughts at this time?
Thanks, Jamie.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. We're going to move down the agenda and head to the consent. If nobody wants to pull anything, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Item A, B, C, D, and E. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for that. And now we are going to have a TASB update. Again, Ms. Pollard.
I just wanted to emphasize on your EIC local that you have in your packet that at this time it has to do with academic achievement and class ranking. And basically what we're pulling from that information is the end of course, where you previously had to have it connected to the 15% of their grade, and that's what we're pulling. And then the other two things that are in highlighted in yellow and in red is just to clarify where the dual credit and where the advanced falls as far as the weighted numerical grade average. And so we just wanted to make sure that it was that in July we did vote in Update 98 the emphasis that dual credit for the incoming freshmen this year will be at a 1.15 multiplier compared to in the past, we had pre-AP up there as well, and pre-AP will have a lower multiplier. So we just wanted to emphasize that, and both high schools have provided letters with students, so they're very aware of what's going to happen in case they had a sibling, because it will look different for this year's freshmen.
Those letters were given to the students or mailed to the parents?
They were sent with report cards. So they were, hopefully everyone will see that to make sure everybody sees it. So with that, I recommend that the board approve the TASB update 98.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the TASB update 98. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to Barry Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. On page 181 of your board book, you're going to see a designation of a record management officer. One of the responsibilities of the school board, according to legal policy CPC and local government code, is that the board must appoint a records management officer. And with that, the administration is recommending that you name the deputy superintendent as the records management officer for BISD.
Did you sign on to that when you accepted the position?
Well, yes, sir, I did. Unbeknownst.
I so moved before he changes his mind.
Yeah.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider designating a records management officer. I guess as the deputy, specifically Barry Edwards, and the deputy as the deputy superintendent.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Congratulations, Barry. Mr. Gideon.
Good evening, board members. Happy New Year. Tonight we bring a request for qualifications in design build services for energy efficiencies and facility improvement. As a reminder, what we're attempting to do, as we've discussed over the past few months and in previous budget cycles, looking for ways to use energy cost avoidance dollars to infuse the capital funds needed to replace some of our older building systems. HVAC, for example, at BIS, Cedar Creek Elementary, some of the lighting systems in some of our facilities that are getting beyond their efficiencies in terms of being able to maximize those dollars. The first step in that process is to pick a partner, and we were lucky to have 3 very good vendors submit RFQs, TDI, TASB, and Schneider Electric. We took those proposals and independently as a committee evaluated those proposals, and the tab that you have in your board book indicates that Schneider came out on top. But all 3 of those companies have had a relationship with Bastrop ISD. We've used them in a variety of different ways, and we're recommending tonight that we start the process, assign Schneider the RFQ. We'll negotiate some contracts, and then before any money is spent, all of the design work and hopefully the funding mechanisms will be brought back to you in future board meetings as we seek to try to infuse some capital into our infrastructure. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
No questions. We'll entertain a motion.
I move for approval. I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve a bid for design build services for energy efficient and facility improvement. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries.
Thank you, and we'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Henry. Steve?
Mr. Allen, trustees, 2 resolutions tonight. The first one we will address. We're excited about both resolutions. Very quickly, the Texas High School, a High Performing Schools Consortium, was a group of 20 schools who were picked from all over the state of Texas that applied for membership in this consortium. You had to meet certain requirements to do so. And then the legislature, there was some legislation during this last session that both kind of helped the consortium, and then there was a veto by the governor that didn't really help the consortium move forward. So the consortium, in wanting to move forward with additional schools that have like mind about transformation in education in the state of Texas, and we are already a Transformation Network member as a school district, has asked that we show our commitment by having the board approve a resolution, and you have the resolution that you're for your review. I won't read it for you, but it talks about obviously us joining the consortium in moving forward with the rest of the consortium members and the new members in pushing the issue of school transformation forward in the state of Texas, whether it be in advance of the new legislative session coming up in about a year or so, or just in the work that we do day in and day out. This is not unlike some of the information I've given you in email about some of the meetings I've had with a group called Texans for Education Reform, who have a lot of influence at the legislative level and would like to see some transformational things change in the state of Texas. So we would ask for the board's approval of that resolution at this time for us to join that network.
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution for Bastrop ISD to join the Texas High Performing Schools Consortium. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to the second.
Second resolution, we're very excited about bringing this resolution. There's been a lot of work in the last 2 to 3 years, and some of it was talked about tonight in different terms, but us continuing in this district on a journey towards building a stronger and more and a broadened college-going culture for our school district. We did so in very tangible terms by putting together what people have come to know as our Quad C program. 2 years. We're in our second year of Quad C. Quad C is a program, for the people who don't know, where at both high schools where our students starting in their freshman year take some college prep coursework and work together in a cohort fashion, and then if they do everything that's required of them, can graduate from high school with 36 college credits. I said from the very beginning that with Quad C, that was a precursor to our ultimate desire, which was to be a early college high school site district. We applied for consideration as an early college high school site district, and we have been made aware by Texas Education Agency that we have been designated as a early college high school site district. This is very exciting news. We're very pleased. What ACC, who will be our partner in this endeavor, has asked us to do in advance or in lieu of right now an MOU, which I mentioned about a month and a half ago, which will get more into the specific dynamics of resources and cost, is just to have the board show their commitment to move forward with early college high school. And just again, for the folks in the audience who don't know, while Quad C allows our students, if they do everything they're asked, to graduate with 36 college credit hours, our early college high school program will enable students who fulfill all requirements to walk the stage and get their high school diploma and their associate's degree at the same time. Again, very exciting for the school district. So we have a resolution. Again, won't read it because you've had a chance to read that, but it speaks to our commitment to move forward as a early college high school site district. And I believe there's a press release that's awaiting tomorrow from ACC. They wanted both districts, I think Elgin has either done it last night or doing it tonight, to get a resolution from their board as well, because they're the other district along with Manor. I think Manor's waiting a little bit, but both Elgin and Bastrop are ready to move forward and accept the designation as an early college high school district. We appreciate your approval of this resolution at this time.
I move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the resolution for Bastrop ISD Early College High School. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Both resolutions pass.
We appreciate some applause because this is very good news. Very exciting. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing all the information on it too, Steve.
We're going to move on to information items. We got a couple of questions for our students. And first of all, we start with Dior, and then we move to Ms. Lopez. What do you think of the meeting? And then tell us what you're going to do, your plans are for when you graduate high school.
Hello, my name is Dior Smith. I'm a senior at Bastrop High School. I was very privileged to have the opportunity to come to the meeting. I thought the meeting was cool. I thought it was going to be longer, but it carried out pretty well. One thing, or maybe it's all just my misunderstanding, but Miss, I'm sorry. Pollard was speaking. She said something. Maybe I didn't catch it all. She said something doing with the pre-AP would be reduced to the students, but then Mr. Murray came back saying that we were ready to step forward as a college readiness high school. I think that is that imbalanced.
Let me respond to that, Dior. Very insightfully to pick up on that. The weighting for pre-AP has not changed. It's going to be at the same formula weighting. It's just that dual credit, which actually gives you a college credit, has been moved above pre-AP. So we're not diminishing pre-AP. We're leaving it at the same weighting. We're just moving dual credit up a little bit above that. So it goes AP, advanced placement is the highest, then dual credit, then pre-AP, then regular. Yeah, great question though.
And my plans after graduation, I aspire to be a sports news journalist. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna work that in there. And if I can't, I'll turn around to go to Texas A&M University and major in education, become a history teacher and a coach for some.
Very good. And come back and work for us.
Yes. Maybe I can replace one of those chairs.
Just a little bit. I know DJ personally, and he's a great kid. He's very respectful. He's looked up to by his classmates. He's a student athlete, but he's also very competitive in both football and track. So he's a great kid, and he's going to represent Bastrop well here in a few months. All right, Ms. Lopez.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Isaiah Lopez. I'm a junior at Cedar Creek High School. What I thought of the meeting, I thought it was really great to hear everyone's input, a lot of help, and answers a lot of my questions. I thought, like you said, it was going to be very long, and just hearing a bunch of grown-ups. Like, how long is it going to last? But I thought it went really well. My biggest not concern, but what many juniors and seniors and high school students wonder is a lot about college. They have a lot of questions. They get stressed out for the end of the year. Like earlier today, one of my friends was like, "I'm so stressed out. The end of the year is coming, and I don't know how to start on college or looking at applications, how to fill them out, where to get the money." I think that we need our teachers to speak to us more about college and how to start on it, where to get the money. We have 4 counselors at our high school. They help us a lot, but I feel like we need more help from our teachers, because not all the time are the counselors available. There's over 1,200 students at our high school, and we really don't, sometimes the students don't have a lot of time to get to the counselors and the counselors to the students. So I feel that if our teachers could talk to us more, help us out more, like about a month ago or 2 months ago, we did a small project in our English class. Our teacher asked us to look up a college we were interested in and look at the application prompts. And I thought that was really helpful because it helped us look into it, and we had to write a paper on one of the prompts. And I actually took that seriously and looked through it and did it as best as I could. And if y'all could talk to them more about giving us more help on college readiness and stuff, that would be great. My plans after high school, I want to do so many things. I still don't know yet, but I'm looking more into being in the FBI. I love all that action type of stuff. And I see the FBI women in the movies. I want to be that person. Because there's not a lot of women in those, as police officers and in the FBI and stuff. And I'm really interested in that. So hopefully I could get to it where I want to be.
Yvette, what else what do you participate in or involved in?
In school, HOSA.
Yeah. HOSA?
I'm really interested in all of that stuff. I wanted to be a doctor for a time, but then I thought about all those years in college, and then I'm more interested into the FBI and the police stuff. Also, outside of school, I do a lot of choreographing for dance.
Very good.
And I thought about being a choreographer, but I want something more.
Yeah.
Action packs.
I like all the action.
Picked up on that. Well, I want to, if you haven't already picked up on it, this is a perfect example of what I am blessed to do once a month, because this is the kind of input and questions that are asked throughout an hour-and-a-half long meeting that I have with students just like DJ and Yvette at both high schools. And so I learned so much. I've said this many times that my time with the Student Advisory Council and that whole process is one of the greatest things that I have available to me as a superintendent. It's made me a better superintendent, without a doubt, in the 15 plus years that I've been doing this and meeting with students. So that just gives you a small glimpse of the kind of questions. Now, don't get me wrong, they still want to talk about the food in the cafeteria and dress code and things like that. But they, more times than not, bring up very serious concerns and issues that they have on their mind, and we try our best to take those to their campus principals and leadership and get those things resolved. So I want to thank them for being here tonight, and it's just great responses. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Thank y'all both for being here. Appreciate it. Represent your schools very well. Henry, do you have anything on the information items?
It's just information
Okay.
regarding our recent compliance audit, and we successfully passed that. So
Okay.
we'll get formal notification from the EDA and USDA that I'll give to Mr. Murray when we receive it, and he can share it with you guys.
Okay. The board will now convene into a closed meeting to discuss the following items posted on our agenda this evening as allowed by the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551072 and 551074. Thank you all for coming. Have a great night.
That's Mark.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
John, here's your certificate. Training room 1? Okay. Did you give that to Ashley? Or put it as a spot, or?
It is 8:16 p.m. and the board will now reconvene in open session. Entertain an item on action item A, pay the property off.
motion that we authorize the superintendent to negotiate the contract with the one bidder that we have.
Second. Moved and second to give the superintendent authority to negotiate the contract with the one bidder that we have. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next part will be, we're going to do, it's going to be two separate motions. First one will be the superintendent's contract.
Oh, so you do want it separate.
Let's do it separate.
So I entertain a motion that we extend the superintendent's contract.
Second. So moved and second to extend the superintendent's contract. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Just for record, can you be more specific?
You need to make a motion.
Well, no, the motion's fine, it's just length of time, more specificity. Because people are going to ask, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's a one-year extension.
Left that caveat off, yeah. Yeah. just wanna make
So we make a motion that we extend the superintendent's contract with a one-year extension.
Second. So moved and seconded to extend the superintendent's contract on a one-year extension. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Action item C.
Make a motion that we give the board president authority to sign the contract for the superintendent on behalf of the Bastrop Independent School District Board of Trustees.
So moved and seconded to give the board president authority to sign the superintendent's contract on behalf of the board of trustees of BISD. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Fourth, fifth.